Hi friend, Bluebee here. Happy New Year. How was your holiday season? What did you get up to? I hope this mail finds you well. I know it's really just a date on the calendar, but I do love the start of the new year as a good reset point. This first week of 2026, I've been reflecting on 2025, looking back at my photos, videos, and memories. There was lots of good stuff I'd forgotten all about. I also wanted to pick out things I did in 2025 that I want to do more of this year. For example, roller skating. I haven't had the opportunity for a few months now, but I need to make the opportunity, you know? Looking back through my photos and videos is a great way to gather inspiration. 2025 felt like a pretty heavy year, but despite that, I got to do lots of cool things too. Hang out with some great people, go to some incredible events and cool places. I'll go over just a few of the highlights. I got to do my last ever Muppets 3D show before it closed with one of my really good friends who loves the Muppets. I can't think of a better way or a better person to close it down with. I got to visit Epic Universe a bunch of times this year, a brand new theme park. What a privilege to be able to go as much as I have. I got to see Hanson and Bowling for Soup in concert. Although it wasn't under the best circumstances, I got to take a trip to the UK to see my friends and family. I got lots of cool Happy Mail and sent lots too. I made a ton of stuff and made it a point to check out other people's creative ventures, such as visiting Lucy Sparrow's Quick Shop at Floridorama in St. Pete. I joined a couple of clubs and meetups in the local area and checked out the vibrant community of creatives here in Orlando. I made my first ever Christmas pudding and now I want to make that a yearly tradition. It was really fun to do this review. I highly recommend doing this. What were some of the highlights of your year? Before I give you an update on my 2025 goals, I wanted to mention a couple of pieces of media I got into this week. First one is Marty Supreme. We went to watch this at Disney Springs. It's a story of Marty who plays ping pong. He's really good, but he struggles and hustles to try to get into competitions. It's set in the 50s, but the soundtrack was very 80s, which was an interesting choice. I liked it. At first, I really thought I was going to like this movie a lot, but as it went on, I just liked it less and less. There were a lot of competing storylines, and they just didn't wrap up in a very satisfying way for me. And I didn't like the characters as much as I wanted to either. Nevertheless, Timothée Chalamet acted the heck out of it. Another piece of media I wanted to mention is Stranger Things Season 3. We're rewatching all of Stranger Things before watching the new season, and what an absolute banger Season 3 is. We finished it this week, and it was a really enjoyable rewatch. On to Season 4. Okay, so about those 2025 goals I wanted to talk to you about. I had 3 main goals for 2025. My first goal was to read 12 fiction books. I'm usually more drawn to non-fiction books, but I want to read more stories. I used to read a lot of fiction as a kid. I loved Roald Dahl and Enid Blyton books. This was an interesting goal, and I learned a lot over the course of reading 12 books. I tried to choose books over a variety of genres. Some of them I liked, some of them I didn't like as much, but it's still all useful data to collect. I found classic books like Wuthering Heights kind of hard to read. In that case, I read the physical book along with the audiobook at the same time, and I found that helped. Other books, like The Housemaid and Eleanor Oliphant, is completely fine. I just couldn't put down and read them in just a few days each. Goal number 2 was making 12 zines. I loved this goal and completed this one too. Overall, I found that I do tend to gravitate towards mostly colourful digital zines. Those were my favourite ones to make. But I do also want to try more experimentation with zines, different types, and I particularly liked making the Flexagon zine. I also learned that it's really helpful in all cases to make a tiny, weeny, little messy prototype zine. It really helps with layout and ideas and brainstorming. I did learn that while 12 is a good number of tasks to complete, 1 per month, it might be a good idea to make it 10 instead. The end of the year is super busy, for me at least, and sometimes unexpected things happen that might put you a little bit behind. These goals are supposed to be fun, and that would just take a bit of the pressure off. I mean, anything over the 10 would be a bonus, but I just feel like maybe 10 over the course of the year would be a little bit less pressure. I still managed to complete all 12 books and all 12 zines in 2025. My favourite zine was the Halloween special I made in October. I want to make one of these every year. My final goal was to send more mail. I didn't have a specific quantifiable goal with this one, but I did send more mail. I made a year-long mail adventure for my friends. Maybe I'll tell you about that sometime if you're interested. What goals did you have this year? Did you manage to complete them? I also included a recipe card for you for a trifle I made for the new year. This was heavily inspired by the pannetone holiday trifle that I had at Epcot's Festival of the Holidays. I love all the flavours that are in there. It's so festive, but it's not really a trifle to me. I wanted to make this more of a trifle, so I did. First up, I made the eggnog custard so that it had time to cool, and that was so good. I'll definitely be making this custard again outside of this trifle. It thickened up really nicely as well and made a really silky custard. It was so delicious. I couldn't find an actual panettone, so I grabbed a pandoro, which I guess is some kind of panettone. I'm not really sure of all the ins and outs of Italian sweetbreads. It comes with sugar, but I'm not going to put it on the part that's going in the trifle. I don't want that to be too sweet. But I did put the sugar on the remaining bread and sliced it up like a little wintry tree. It's so cute. After the custard cooled, it mostly just needed assembly. I soaked the pandoro in rum and cranberry juice. This was what was missing in the Epcot one for me. I like soggy cake in my trifle. Next, a layer of cherries and berries. Then that delicious eggnog custard. Last layer is some whipped cream. Then, of course, cherries on top. This was a delicious festive trifle, and for me, it captured the essence of what I wanted the other trifle to be. Let me know if you decide to make it. I had one adventure I wanted to share with you this week. We went to SeaWorld to watch the ice skating show before the Christmas celebration there ended. I went to see it before and it was so incredible. I had to sneak in another show and took my little this time. We ended up getting there super early, but we got to see the ice skaters warming up and the ice rink getting set up, so that was cool. I love that SeaWorld has pre-performers, so we got to see this scamp of a violinist who had a super rad red glittery shoes.
Welcome, Jared Burnett. From all of us to all of you, thank you for making memories with us this season at SeaWorld's Christmas celebration.
The show was amazing, as expected. These skaters are so talented and the costumes are incredible as well. One of my favorite festive shows this year.
And now, SeaWorld presents Winter Wonderland on Ice. But as long as you love me so, let it snow, let it snow, let it snow. They're gonna build a toilet under the Christmas tree.
And I think that's it. I think that's everything that I want to talk to you about this week. Let me know what you've got going on. Next week, I'm planning to make a vision board and do a little planning for the year. Until next time, Bluebee.